So like I said, we plant those seeds, but we let God do the rest. You know, he will water the seeds and it will grow over time. You cannot force people to change. Their change will not be on your time. You know, them folks, they have to want to change. Like I said before, this is something that people have to want, and you can't force anybody to want to change. You cannot force anybody to want God. That's just a place that everybody has to come to on their own individual time and journeys. You know, you have to pray for people and keep it moving. I'm not about to stress myself out about somebody else's life and destiny. It could be stressful because, you know what I'm saying, it's, you know, a lot of people that you love and care about, but you even if you do stress yourself out, if they don't want to come to Christ, there's nothing that you can do. So you have to pray for people and keep it moving. Because the thing is, the more you try to force someone to come to Christ, the more they run from it a lot of times. You know, so you'll think that you're helping them, but really you're just making it worse. Really, you're making them stray far away from God and the gospel. You know, sometimes they will begin to resent you and resent God, even if they feel like it's something that's being forced on them, because they're not ready to surrender. Because as we all know, when you're not ready to surrender to God and people's coming and you talk, you do not want to hear it. It makes you bad and you get irritated with that person and you're like, I don't want to hear that. Because you're not ready to surrender. And when you're not ready to surrender, your mind is on a whole different, you know what I'm saying? So people will begin to resent you or resent God because if they feel like it's being forced on them when they're not ready. And I completely understand, because on this walk, you begin to have a burning desire, okay, for souls to be saved. So this can be difficult, you know what I'm saying? Because we know that it will bring peace and happiness in people's lives, especially when you know other people's struggles, like people close to you. You're seeing the things that they're going through. They're having a rough time and you know their struggles. And you just like, I got the answer, like follow Christ. And they like, no, you know what I'm saying? But if they're not ready, there's nothing that you can do. Literally nothing. It's God timing, not ours. And, you know, there's people that I truly want to see saved, but I'm not going to force it down their throat. I'm not going to force it in their face because that's their journey with God. You know what I'm saying? Like, people going to come on their own time. And another thing that I realized too is, like, when you plant those seeds, you won't always be the person that will like make them come to Christ, but you planting that seed is still helpful because another person may plant the next seed, and then, you know what I'm saying, like, it just goes on. So you may not be the person that initially like have them like, okay, I'm completely changing my life, but your seed is still in the back of their mind. You still have planted that seed. They're still going to think about it. So you're still helping